I just feel like, as I say, I think the favourite's Nicolas, but there's no way that I can't see Ustun also finding his way into this grand final.
I mean, I've finally got my hands on my notebook, and Ustun's results through the Swiss, he drew 8-8, won on penalties, and he won 9-6 versus Mo Alba.
So many goals.
He lost 6-5 to Andoni, he won 7-2 versus Filza, he won 10-6 versus Pro Hunter. 39 goals scored, 28 conceded. On the other side for Nicolas, he's 19 goals scored and 8 conceded. So two very different players, but both in the same position in this semi-final.
Here we go then. Second semi-final of the day on the PlayStation 4. Very much underway, as you can see. We've got M10Ustun taking on Nicolas. Nicolas, who scraped through his previous game against FIFA. And of course, we've got Nicolas playing in that FC Ball kit one more time. M10Ustun will be playing in the white and red socks. The first attack of the game here is going to be coming in from Nicolas here. Ruud Gullit twisting and turning, and an early goal here for Nicolas. Well, I think that really could turn things on his head as far as our predictions are concerned.
Well, Nicolas certainly needed to be woken up during the quarterfinals. It took a couple of goals being put past him for him to actually say, all right, I need to switch on a little bit here. So if he can start off with a goal of his own, that'll be exactly where he needs his head to be at. The desk kind of thought that if Nicolas were to go up a goal, then it's going to be really tough for Ustun because of how good Nicolas is defensively and how good he is at controlling the game. At the same time, if Nicolas forces Ustun to come at him and get aggressive, that's when Ustun also gets scary, and that's when he starts to just bang goals. So it could be a goal fest. And I think that's what everyone really wants to see.
I really feel that, the first shot's going to come in. Good goalkeeper movement early on, a positive sign there for Nicolas. I really feel it's not so much how many goals Nicolas scores in this game. It's more, can Ustun score more? I know that sounds like a very simple thing to say. Obviously, you're trying to win a game of FIFA. You've got to outscore your opponent. But if Nicolas gets the first goal of the game here, I don't think that changed the complexion of things too much. I still feel that Ustun has enough in the locker to score 2. It's just if he can keep it tight enough at one end to let his attacking prowess come through at the other.
And we've spoke about how Nicolas has been getting better and better every tournament. He went from a quarter-finalist to semi-finalist to PS4 winner. Is this going to be the cross-console win that is just stepping you up one by one each tournament? On the other side for Ustun, he was in the PS4 semi-final in LQE number 2 in Bucharest. He's been here before, but he hasn't been able to progress that little bit further. And I think in that tournament, both him and Nicolas actually went out in the semi-final stages.
Here is Nicolas then coming forward once again. Patrick Vieira twisting and turning. You can see Gullit is an option. Ball in here, CR7, dangerous, great ball across, but Ustun matched that shot there with the goalkeeper movement. Something for Nicolas to put into the memory bank there. Ustun moving that goalkeeper across, defending that more favoured finesse shot back across goal. Be interesting to see if that chance comes around again from a similar position, if Nicolas will change it up and go near post.
I always think that with your first shot, maybe you should go the other way. Because everyone just assumes with the first shot they're going to be testing out that keeper movement. They're going to try and put it in the normal position. But if you start the mind games early and you put it near post, then suddenly you might catch them off guard in the opposite way. But either way, it was good reading of the game from Ustun, but frustration already kicking in for him, as he's not been able to retain much possession here. It's all been Nicolas. His passing's been great. Hasn't given away the ball yet.
R9 trying to get in behind there, but Sergio Ramos, that Team of the Year for item. Plenty of pace to deal with that run from the Brazilian. Make sure that he was in position so there wasn't too many problems for M10Ustun. Now there's a bit of space on this right-hand side, and Neymar will be found. Ustun approaching the edge of the box. There goes for the finesse shot, and Ustun does take the lead. Neymar's left foot, the timed finesse shot once again. And that's the first goal of the game, and it goes to M10Ustun.
It's like a repeat of the quarterfinals again. Nicolas just not quite expecting that one, not ready to move his goalkeeper. Neymar on his left foot, cracking one in from outside the box there. I mean, maybe you're expecting a pass, but you can see the keeper's not moved across to try and defend that far post. And this is kind of what we expected, I think. Ustun to be able to find those ways of catching Nicolas off guard, of getting those goals in. And it's how Nicolas responds now.
Yeah, not too surprised to not see any goalkeeper movement there. Not an angle that we usually see a lot of players decide to take that kind of effort from, but Ustun using that to his advantage and catching Nicolas off guard there. First blood then to M10Ustun. Nicolas on the back foot, but from kickoff he's going to look to tie things up here. Messi towards the edge of the box. Good goalkeeper movement again from Ustun. A little bit of a shake of the head from him there. Maybe expected his goalkeeper to gather that one in. And it will present Nicolas with another chance here from the corner.
Well, yeah, he's not been rewarded for his good goalkeeper movement in theory, because another chance is presented by that corner being given, but he does manage to regain possession now, so he can stop worrying about that one. I mean, you say it's not an angle that we see goals go in, but at the same time, I mean, I don't think anyone is going to beat around the bush. We know that finesse shots do go in from several angles now. If you see someone teeing that up, you get ready with your keeper movement. Nicolas wasn't quite sure of it, and he let it happen. And I'm sure if he watched it back, he would see that as a personal mistake for himself.
Another chance there, Pele on the edge of the box. You can see keeper movement already coming in from Nicolas there very early. Ronaldo, El Tornado, Vieira sticks a knee and a shin in and wins possession back there. But you saw Nicolas, those players backed off in defence. It's because Nicolas gave up control of manually controlling those defenders and chose to use the goalkeeper movement to try and defend that chance. It's worked out for him here, and now he's looking to create a chance of his own, but Cancelo nips in just in the nip of time there to get the ball back here for Ustun.
And there has been a lot of shake of the heads from Ustun as well. He's clearly someone who wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's going to be reacting to various things that happens throughout the game. And maybe that inspires him to be better. Some players don't react well to that, and when they start to beat themselves up, they play worse. But maybe Ustun plays better when he kind of fuels and uses that energy of frustration to put into his game and play a little bit better. He did attempt another finesse shot, but this time Nicolas was there with his goalkeeper moving that one.
One thing I've enjoyed so far from Ustun is the pressure that he's applying to Nicolas. He's not letting him settle. He's trying to win the ball up in advanced positions, and kind of like that, to be honest. Taking the game to Nicolas. You can't let Nicolas settle on the ball and play his possession style of play and let him do what he can do, because this is what he can do, and that split you open. Ronaldo now, great keeper movement again from Ustun. And one thing we're seeing more and more as we get into the latter stages of this tournament here, Dan, is players using that goalkeeper to bait the shots, moving it slightly one way to open up that side of the goal, and then immediately moving the goalkeeper back to close the door as soon as it's momentarily opened.
That's what it's going to get to. It's going to get to kind of double guessing, even triple guessing, triple bluffing your opponent of, am I going right, left, right? And it makes it extremely hard when you do get into those 1v1 situations.
It's like half's flown by.
It has. It felt a lot quicker than our first semi-final, because it was more open. There were more chances. But ultimately, it was Ustun who goes in to the changing rooms with a 1-goal lead. But that last final chance for Ronaldo will have Ustun kind of a little bit concerned. All right, there are going to be potential chances for Nicolas to tie this game up. I need to keep pushing to get a second.
Second half underway then. Saw the changes out wide for Nicolas, just making sure he has fresh legs in those positions where he's going to desperately be trying to get in behind those fullbacks. Well defended here by Nicolas from the kickoff. Now he's going to have to come forward himself. That's a great ball in behind here, and Mbappe, one of those players with those fresh legs, with a little bit of space here, just waiting for the midfield to join the attack. Neymar turns back onto his left. Lacoqueta inside. Nicolas has ripped Ustun apart. And CR7 ties things up at 1-0.
Yeah, really nice, well-worked goal. Just pass and move, pass and move. Kept looking for that final pass until he had a comfortable shot on goal. Nice croquettes there from Neymar as well. Just to beat one, maybe two men. And then Ronaldo's never going to miss from that close. Not even keeper movement could have saved him there.
Yeah, great little skill moves there from Nicolas. We talk about how effective in and around the box the croqueta is. And there's a perfect example of it. So difficult to defend, even, manually, or it's almost, easier to defend if you let the AI do the work in those sort of positions. But if you overcommit either side, that croqueta can just create that little bit of space to allow you to either find a pass, much like Nicolas did there, or find the opportunity to strike on goal. Found the pass into CR7. He put it away. Tied up at 1-1 now, and it's like we said on the guy said on the desk, and like we said up here, I don't think it changes the complexion of the game too much. It's all about if Ustun can outscore Nicolas. Nicolas was always bound to score, in my opinion, at some point in this game. Can Ustun answer back now?
Didn't have an opportunity there, and he still has possession here, Ustun. You can see he wants to take those finesse shots from outside the box, but Nicolas just putting bodies in the way now. And if he's done his research, which I imagine he would have, he will know Ustun very well and would have watched his previous games in the quarterfinals and the like when he had the chance to, when he wasn't playing anyway. He'll know how he likes to score and he'll know how he wants to try and defend against those finesse shots. And that's probably why he was a little bit frustrated with how Ustun did score his opening goal.
Nicolas again on the attack then, tried to nip that ball back inside to Ruud Gullit, but Neymar managed to intercept that pass, but possession will still stay here with Nicolas. The Argentine coming forward once again. There's a little bit of space out wide there for Cancelo. Opts to use Marcelo then on this left-hand side. There is that ball in behind down the channel. Neymar, El Tornado towards that front post this time. Ramos gets an important header in. A vital header there for Ustun, just as that ball was looking like it was going to land in a very dangerous area.
And Nicolas is also trying to use his players to get
great ball
and apply more pressure onto Ustun, not allowing to have comfortable possession in midfield, because as soon as you do allow your opponent to have that possession in midfield, they're going to feel more comfortable in the game and they're going to maybe try riskier passes later on because they think you're not going to be pressuring it. They're not going to be pushing and cutting off those angles. So you have to let them know that you're there, have to let them know that you are prepared to apply that pressure when the time comes.
This attack has formed from Ustun giving the ball away in an unnecessary area, with Cancelo just slightly rushed his pass. And that might be playing on his mind as you see Ronaldo strike it here. The ball's fallen back to Cristiano Ronaldo on that left foot once more. David De Gea gets a couple of feet in behind that one. Important tackle there from Cancelo. He was the player who was guilty of giving that ball away at the start. He was in the right place at the right time there for Ustun to get the ball away.
Lots of space out here on the right, but nice interception from Marcelo, and he probably needed it. Otherwise, that was a potential goal-scoring chance. But another great bit of pressure from Nicolas.
And again, the ball given away. Nicolas really putting the pressure on his opponent here. The heel-to-heel from Neymar creates some space. A scoop turn. De Gea with another big save here for Ustun.
And once you have one of those chances, once you are under that much pressure, Ustun, I mean, I don't blame him for calling the pause. You want to change things up. Possession now starting to lean towards Nicolas very heavily, 56% in terms of passing precision as well, 90% possession as well. On the other side, just 87% passing for Ustun. And the way the game's going, you feel like it's going in Nicolas's way. But I think the scary factor is Ustun is one of those players you can't expect to just lead by one goal against. Or
yeah. You almost know that you have to get a couple of goals to give yourself a chance of winning the game. You see him manually controlling Cristiano Ronaldo here, and he's going to find him here. Oh, went for the pass. Nice little routine there from Nicolas, showing that he's got more strings to his bow that maybe we didn't know about. And he almost created an opportunity here to take the lead towards the end of this first leg of our second semi-final here on the PS4.
I think you make a good point there, Mark. I mean, it's all about being unpredictable. A lot of FIFA 19 is about reading your opponent and reading the game, including goalkeeper movement, defending, positioning. If you can come up with something a little bit different and surprise your opponent, that's when you're going to create those chances. So maybe think, all right, what would my opponent expect me to do here? And then try and do the opposite.
But whipped into the box here. Ramos with an acrobatic clearance there to get it away. Gullit wins the ball then for Nicolas. That was a dangerous moment though for Nicolas. Defended it well, Ramos doing what he's in the team to do, and now he strides forward with Neymar inside the box. Scoop turn, little turn back as well, tried to just knock that ball in once again to CR7, who was just inside the 6-yard box, and you felt if that pass had found his man that Nicolas could well be going into our second leg with a goal lead.
And there was talk of goals, and maybe we expected lots of goals, but I think the way that Nicolas plays and the way he controls the game, he doesn't give up too many chances because he's very good defensively. The way he switches his players, the way he pressures, the way he moves defenders into positions to cut out passes, it makes it very frustrating for his opposition to actually apply any real kind of pressure towards the goal. Look at the amount of space for Mbappe here.
He's in behind. Kylian Mbappe cuts it back towards Ronaldo. Look at the space here for Neymar. The touch is a little bit heavy. And of all players who managed to get into position to do important defensive work, it was Messi. But now there's panic on the side of Ustun. You can see it. CR7 behind again, De Gea. Saves the day here for Ustun.
Nicolas most definitely knocking on the door now, but Ustun is not opening it. He says, no, you can leave the delivery on the porch. I'm more than happy with 1-1.
Ooh, I think Nicolas went for
Directed goal, potentially. Well, I said about being unpredictable. Maybe that is just it. But that chance for Neymar, I mean, a very heavy touch, and the keeper had been moved way out right. If Neymar had taken that down a little bit closer, you have to think that was probably a guaranteed goal into the bottom left. Because you saw the keeper moving early. And now with just 4 minutes left in this first leg, it has been cagey. It hasn't been the goal-scoring fest that maybe we expected. Instead, it's been a game that's been run by Nicolas, but Ustun is still all tied up.
Vieira then, there was 3 players from Nicolas just shielding that ball on the passing lanes in front of Patrick Vieira then. Ustun maybe might have one more chance towards the end of this game then to win this one and take a goal lead into our second leg. Eusebio towards the back post, CR7 gets above his man. But surprisingly to me, didn't manage to get that header on target.
Yeah, just nods it wide. As the crowd give a nice way, as we all do in real life as well. Maybe one last chance for Nicolas though, as he's potentially through on goal. Can defenders catch him? They can. Neymar just gets shoved aside, which maybe in the last 10 seconds might give just one final push here, Mark.
Yeah, here comes Mbappe. Ball roll, goes for the finesse shot early, trying to catch Nicolas out again. Neuer does make the save though, and we are tied up once again as we head towards the second leg of our PS4 the second PS4 semi-final, excuse me. All smiles from Ustun. Let's have a look at the replays from that game as we break it down a little bit, but like you said, Dan, quite a cagey affair here with Nicolas just running the pace.
Yeah, he has been running the show. I mean, he's going to be a bit annoyed because he was caught off guard there. Maybe he wasn't expecting that shot. He should be expecting that shot. From that angle, Neymar can put them away. And if it's Ustun controlling them, we definitely know he can. But look at that. Beautiful. Lovely cricketers. Nice pass, noticing that Ronaldo was there. And I'm sure that's one that Mike Labelle will look at, because he could have taken a shot there, tried to just finesse it to either side, but instead playing that extra ball to try and be slightly unpredictable. But look at that touch from Neymar. If that was a little bit closer, I feel like maybe Nicolas could have gone into this second leg 2-1 up. Oh,
for sure. And I think you looked back on some of the saves as well that David De Gea made there for Ustun as well. Big saves that came in from the Spaniard. And that could have been a fairly comfortable win, to be honest with you, coming in on the side of Nicolas. However, it didn't. He didn't manage to put those shots away. De Gea did make those saves, and that's the reason that you pick him in goal, because he makes those big saves when it matters. And now we are again set up beautifully for our second leg. All tied up, much like we were in our first leg. My question here is, can Nicolas perform in the same way that he did in that first leg, or will Ustun bring something to the table here? Will he change something up? Because I feel like he's probably aware that he maybe got a little bit lucky in that first leg with how things have ended up.
Ustun is the one who needs to change things up. Let's be honest, Nicolas will be more than comfortable in this second leg with the way he ran the show, the way he dominated possession, he had the chances, and he'll probably feel like he could have won that game 2, maybe 3-1. Whereas for Ustun, it was just a couple of finesse shots from outside the box, trying to catch Nicolas off guard. As soon as Nicolas had seen that that was the way Ustun was approaching the game, just a bit of goalkeeper movement was easy enough to control that. So now Ustun needs to say, all right, maybe I'll get a finesse shot here or there, but where else am I going to be creating chances? Is it going to be a through ball down the wing, across to the back post, for example? Find different ways to kind of expose the meta and actually find a couple of goals.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting for me as well is if Ustun does go ahead, we know that Nicolas has that 4-2-2 in his back pocket that he can switch to. He can change his tactics, and he's very, very comfortable with that more attacking option. My thing is here, if Ustun goes behind, does he have that in his locker? Does he have something where he can come flying out the traps back at Nicolas? Because his normal game is based so much on attack that I wonder if he has another level to try and get back into this. But speaking of second legs and trying to decide things and see who he's going to match up with Lev Vinken in our PS4 Grand Final. Second leg's underway here. Tied up at 1-1 on aggregate. This time Ustun will be playing in the blue, and Nicolas will be playing in the white.
Well, I think for Ustun, it's just about not getting frustrated, not shaking the head when one of his passes goes wayward or there's an interception. Instead, just staying focused. But it's Nicolas off the get-go again. Can't connect the cross, though, as Ustun will be able to play out from the back. Is he going to go for something a little bit different? Is he going to maybe try and speed things up, apply lots of pressure to try and stop this domination of possession that we've seen from Nicolas?
Well, there might be an early chance here for Ustun. Oh, he went for the pass back to Vieira, but I think it was R9 who was in possession. Yes, it was indeed. Those medium work rates, when you use him at cam as well, mean that he does kind of drop into that little bit of space. and provides that extra little bit defensive cover. He has that physicality and, of course, that pace to cover the ground as well. That's why you see a lot of players using R9 instead of using him up top, where CR7 obviously has those high-low work rates, meaning that all of his focus is going to be on getting in behind and creating chances. Those mediums on R9 mean that he can provide that cover, but first shot in anger in this game comes in from Ustun. Very similar angle from what we saw in from that first goal in the first leg.
It's somewhat repetitive, and it's going to become predictable. And maybe he's playing the game of, I want him to think I'm predictable, and then I just surprise him late on in the game. But Nicolas will certainly be feeling like, all right, I've got this guy in my pocket now. I just need to find a breakthrough and find a goal. Vieira smashing it from outside the box, something a little bit different.
Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? You know, we talked about the difference between picking Kante, picking Vieira. If Kante's on the edge of the box there, maybe that shot's a little bit more dangerous. But speaking of danger, Ronaldo's found Neymar, and Neymar has found the stands.
I mean, he's not hit it green on the time there, which does make a difference, but you'd expect him to hit the target regardless. But pressure still being applied by Ustun. Not giving Nicolas any time now, and I imagine that Nicolas will adapt to that though, start to play one-touch football around these players who are instantly rushing towards the ball. And that might expose Ustun a little bit. That might just open up a gap and allow Nicolas to find that second goal that he's searching for. So Ustun does have to be careful. Whilst I agree with searching for a goal himself is important, you have to be well aware of not exposing your back line.
I feel like the longer this game goes on as well, the more it plays into the hands of Nicolas, because he has those incredible levels of concentration that we've talked about. Cruyff turn here from Ronaldo trying to find space, but as we say, those powers of concentration that Nicolas has, pretty much unmatched as far as FIFA is concerned compared to FIFA. Ustun, we've seen, can fall away a little bit towards the end of the game. If he can get into the lead, though, that will change. That's a great ball in behind, and again, David De Gea comes to the rescue of Ustun. Talk about how a lot of players, you know, not sure what goalkeeper to pick. Is it Courtois? Do you use De Gea? Do you use Neuer? I think Ustun's pretty happy with his choice at the moment.
And really, Ustun needs to find a way to stop Nicolas being so cool and calm under pressure. He needs to find a way to melt the Iceman, maybe get a Bunsen burner out and turn the heat up a little bit in here. Keep applying that pressure. I mean, even if it is just hitting those finesse shots, forcing Nicolas to constantly be on the ball, moving the keeper as well, that is just going to have a little bit of doubt in the back of Nicolas's mind of, all right, I need to make sure I'm moving, otherwise there is a chance he actually takes this off me despite my domination. And there is just another shot there.
And you can see the frustration starting to creep into Ustun as well. Little shake of the head there in our player cam on the right-hand side when that shot just found the palms of Manuel Neuer in Nicolas's goal. No change of expression, surprise, surprise on the face of Nicolas. Ronaldo out wide then. Here comes the Argentine once more. Vieira tries to squeeze it through. Ronaldo again wins the ball back there. Nicolas trying to create a chance, and it's Ronaldo who's turned his man. The deflection on the shot will take it into the hands of David De Gea though. And now Ustun has the time to start an attack of his own.
Ustun has kind of changed his defensive style as well as we get further into this second leg. He is kind of moving his CDMs and he's trying to cut off those passes. But then as soon as he's put that player in that position, he's instantly switching to the centre-back and pressuring the new player on the ball. And it's working out well for him. He's been able to regain possession from it 3 or 4 times. And it's not giving Nicolas that time to kind of play with the ball and pass it around into the box.
Space here though. Nicolas has managed to get in behind Ustun's defensive line. Rio Ferdinand comes back in. Oh, almost gave it away though. That pass back? The referee decides no.
Have a word. Lino says no. All right, well, I disagree, but it's fine. Either way, I'm kind of liking Rio Ferdinand in Ustun's team. I've seen a lot of Maldini, I've seen a lot of Ferdinand, and I think my general consensus is I prefer Ferdinand for his speed.
Certainly worked out there for Ustun, that scenario. Vieira comes forward then to hull it. Plays it out wide. Maybe baiting that finesse shot there. Ustun, by deciding to last second cancel it into that Cruyff term. Vieira tries to squeeze it in, but again, the wall of CDMs here from Nicolas, so difficult to get past. He's so good at switching.
That, and maybe he's got his tactics has dropped back. So he's got almost 9 players behind the ball, just sitting there on the edge of the box saying, well, if you want to go for a finesse shot, buddy, feel free. But the likelihood of it hitting 1-2 bodies is quite high. And then I'm going to regain possession. I'm going to hit you on the counter. Counter is available. Through ball now to Ronaldo. And there's players making their way into the box here.
Ronaldo back to, oh no, the cross goal! And Nicolas finally breaks down Ustun. It has been coming. You have to say, Dan, and it is the Brazilian icon, having been given a sniffer goal, who finds that bottom left-hand corner with a fantastically powerful strike.
And it's just that one touch to the right as well when he gets the ball. And then driving it across goal. A great finish from Nicolas. And it's been what he's kind of been working for, I feel. Sitting back, letting that pressure come from Ustun, waiting for the right moment where his defenders have pushed up the pitch a little bit too much. I think it was Marcelo out of position, allowed Cristiano Ronaldo to make that run. He saw it off the ball, and then a nice turn from the edge of the box as well to complete it all. And Ustun has to come from behind now.
Oh, he nearly managed to get a pass into that player as well to maybe get a strike away before half-time. But look at the difference between the stats here, Dan. 59% possession on one side of things, and we saw it being very much equal in that first game. Fresh legs obviously going to be coming on once again for Nicolas. Loves changing out those wide players. 59% possession here for Ustun, actually, interestingly enough.
Well, this is the thing, this is what I'm saying. I feel like Nicolas
is a surprise to me, to be honest.
Is playing drop back in this game, and he's absorbing that pressure. He's kind of giving Ustun the possession, because maybe he's noticed how Ustun is trying to score these goals. He's noticed that he's constantly going for the finesse shots on the edge of the box. So he's saying, all right, well, if I play drop back, all my players are going to be sat in front of that player. He's not going to be able to easily get that finesse shot away, and then I'm just going to hit him on the counter every time. And it's worked. He's got his goal because of it. And now he can just play drop back. He can absorb that pressure for the rest of the game if Ustun can't create anything more than those finesse shots.
Second half underway then. One goal the difference between these two players. It's been so tight in both of these semi-finals, as you would expect. Of course, Lev Vinken is waiting in our PS4 final for the winner of this game. Ustun's been the man to deliver us goals on a regular basis so far in the FIFA E-World Cup. Can he find a couple more to find his way into a grand final? Or is the wall of Nicolas not going to be broken? And will we see the Argentine once again finding his way into a grand final?
I think the reason why both of these semi-finals have been closely contested, Mark, is because all four players have kind of been playing the passing game. We haven't really seen many skills to kind of separate the players between each other to try and beat the man. But the pass has managed to find his way. And that's what the passing game can do for you. As long as those players are making those runs off the ball and you find them, and those fresh legs out on the wing have worked well for Nicolas. And Ustun now has to come back from a 2-goal deficit.
And this is the thing, I thought the longer that this game goes on, the more it favours Nicolas. I just feel that his concentration levels are a little bit higher than Ustun's, to be honest with you. He's going to play the same way. He's going to play the repetitive patterns that we know he plays for 120 minutes if he needs to in this second leg. Ustun, he's almost trying to create something that isn't there at the moment. He's trying to force players into positions and try and find a goal. Obviously, he has to chase the game a little bit, and it's just letting Nicolas play his game, and it becomes even more effective because Ustun has to change the way that he's playing. It's so smart from Nicolas to be able to keep his composure in these situations and keep that concentration, and it's resulting in these chances that he's putting away.
Well, the desk, they said that they thought Nicolas would be able to take control of the game if he got a couple of goals ahead. That Ustun would really struggle if he went 1 goal behind. Now he's 2 goals behind, Mark. And I've got to say, I haven't seen anything different from him. He's just been going for the time finesse shots outside the box, and it's not worked. It worked once when Nicolas wasn't maybe expecting it, and maybe that's credit to Nicolas's defending.
Yeah, I think Nicolas has frustrated Ustun here by putting that wall up in front of his back four, controlling those CDMs so well, and making sure that his player switching has been on point. Just giving him no space to work with whatsoever, and it's frustrated Ustun. Forced him to try and change his game. And Nicolas has been right in position to take advantage of that. A goal here, though, just before we enter sort of the last half hour of this game, could put this one straight back into interesting mode, I'm going to call it. Just 1 goal between the two players. It sets it up for a grandstand finish, but Nicolas is very, very wise to these situations. Very rarely lets these kind of leads go.
Yeah, a nice 2-goal cushion for him. That he will just be more than happy to sit back and say, all right, Ustun, go on, just hit it green finesse if you want, mate. I've got 2 CDMs blocking it every single time. And then this is going to happen on the counter-attack. He's going to have so much space. Oh, Rio Ferdinand, shoulder to shoulder. VAR says it's fine.
Kante comes forward then for Ustun. Desperate for a goal now. Eusebio has a little bit of space in behind it. Pullet decides to go to CR7. He gets dropped as well. Referee decides a free kick will be given here. So a chance from the set piece. Vieira lays it off to CR7, who goes for the strike near post, but didn't time it well. Comfortable for Neuer, and again, he's kind of relying on that finesse shot in those situations, and looks like Nicolas is wise to it.
Yeah, he's not generated any sort of other pressure. Great ball out to Mbappe. Really taking advantage of the pace on this foot item. And it's going to be a couple of simple passes, and there's lots of space out on the left as well. It's Eusebio in the end to Neymar. Can he get the ball into the middle? No, he's going to take a crack at goal. Thankfully, it's a save, but it's going to go out for a corner, I think, as Mbappe gets his head in the way. No, it's not. Thought Marcelo touched it, but he didn't.
Again, De Gea making an important save here for Ustun, and you feel like the scoreline could have been very different had it not been for David De Gea in his goal as well. Marcelo then coming forward for Nicolas. Inside the last 25 minutes of this game. 2 goals the difference between the two players. Ustun needs to get the ball back first thing, and then he needs to create opportunity to score a couple of goals. But Nicolas is getting into these advanced positions so easily now. And Neymar almost managed to trick his way around Cancelo there with a little drag back and find almost a carbon copy goal to what we just saw, finding one of those strikers in the box just to slide it home. And now we are going to see the changes coming from Ustun. He has to commit here. We're probably going to see that 3 at the back formation, throwing everyone forward, get as many attacking talents on the pitch as you possibly can. But is it too little too late? Can he find a way to come back and break the ice, man?
I'm going to be honest, I think the answer is probably no at this point. I haven't seen enough from him to actually think that he has what it takes to get back into this game. Unless Nicolas suddenly forgets how to move his goalkeeper, Nicolas has this semi-final in the bag. He is comfortably going into that PS4 final. Unless Ustun's been saving something for the last 20 minutes of the game to suddenly shock us all. Like, he's an amazing player, but at the moment, Nicolas completely has his number.
Here he comes then. Kante on the pitch. Flying forward here for Ustun. He has changed formation. Through that 3 at the back, get as many players upfield as he can. Kante gives the ball away to Patrick Vieira though, and Nicolas just knows that that means 5-7 minutes could potentially disappear off of this game clock if he plays it right. But good defending there from Rio Ferdinand. Once again, means he's going to win the ball back here, Ustun.
And not only would a goal now, of course, change the game because of, obviously, there'd be only a goal behind, but that also might put a little seed of doubt in Nicolas's head if he were to concede after dominating for so long. Here's the chance then. It's another finesse shot again, and it is just an easy, comfortable save for Nicolas. There has been no real test on Manuel Neuer. Gone the same way every single time.
And look at the space here from the goal kick as well. That 3 at the back formation means that any late runners are going to have plenty of space to work with for Nicolas. Ustun wins it back though. Kante running behind there from CR7. You can see it just to the right-hand side. Marcelo manages to get this out wide to Mbappe. He gets inside the box, but Cancelo comes back in with a tackle. And now we're inside the last 10 minutes of regulation time. Nicolas, it's his game to lose.
It's also his game to finish off if he wants to. Eusebio on the right-hand side. But he's going to be smart. A couple of drag backs to waste some time here, I feel. He knows now that this is his final. But maybe he can just put it to bed with a third. It's Hullet on the edge of the box. Plays it out wide to Neymar.
Oh, wow.
And Ustun, we have a problem. It's a 3rd goal in this one. And that is surely Ustun out of the competition. And Nicolas going through to the PS4 final.
Yeah, that's the exclamation mark on the end of this performance. Neymar on his left foot. Buries the little half volley there after being found. Used to move the goalkeeper to that near post. Trying his best to just create some sort of barrier, but you can see, I think that Ustun knows it's done here. The headset's off. Nicolas has done what Nicolas does. He's been surgical in his decimation of his opponent here. It's been a fantastic performance once again from the Argentinian.
I like the analysation of it. I mean, he's like in science class dissecting a frog, really, at this point.
He just picks them apart. He's so quick at recognizing where players' weaknesses are. And once he gets in front of goal, he's so devastating. I mean, how many times do we see Nicolas miss clear-cut chances? How many times do we see him lose composure in front of goal? It's something we don't talk about. And here's another opportunity to see it. He's just waiting for the goalkeeper to move. And look at this. Mbappe's taking the mick. It's almost taking the mick in that situation. Nicolas just walks up, waits for the goalkeeper to actually move out of his way, and just walks the ball in the back of the net.
Iceman keeps his cool, as now he's just rubbing salt in the wounds. Ustun knew the game was over. He basically wanted to give up at this point, but he plays on. It's good sportsmanship. But yeah, this has been a comfortable one for Nicolas. It's not been the semi-final maybe we expected from Ustun. His finesse shots were easily read every single time from Nicolas. He wasn't able to work his way into different areas of the pitch to try anything else. I mean, now he's trying some skill moves because he's got nothing to lose, but maybe we should have seen that a little bit earlier. A couple more El Tornadoes, a couple more Balassi flicks, however you want to try and beat your man.
And look at this. I mean, Nicolas, even though he's pretty much got this game won, he's still flying forward, still looking for more goals, still looking to increase his ratio as the tournament goes on. And there is the final whistle. No surprises here in London. That man on your screen, Nicolas, will move into the PlayStation 4 Grand Finals. He'll be taking on Lev Vinken. And you can't say they didn't deserve it, Dan. What a performance it was.